He has a doctorate of clinical psychology, founder of the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. Let's welcome Dr. Umar.
Dr. Umar Johnson.
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 I keep telling you, consciousness over coochie, politics over punani. Black women are beautiful. Let me refocus. Why do you need white man paperwork? I gotta check the coons. I gotta do a coon analysis and a coon screening. All A's and B's. You know what A stand for? African. You know what B stand for? Black. We don't get C's. That stands for Caucasian. And D stand for devils. We are the inheritors. We have an inheritance, brothers and sisters. We are the children of the Ma'afa. I am the descendants of those who came on slave ships. I am the offspring of Douglass and Tubman and Ida B. Wells and Fannie Lou and Mega and Fred Hampton. I inherited their struggle, brothers and sisters. And I have a responsibility, and so do you, to keep the torch lit. Keep the fire of African liberation burning. We have a responsibility to finish the work of Dr. King, finish the work of El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, finish the work of Kwame Nkrumah and Patrice Lumumba and Sekou Touré and Dedan Kamathi and Menelik II and His Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie and Winnie and Nelson and Chris Hani and Steve Biko and Robert Sobukwe and Peter Tosh and all the great African activists. I am honored to be an African. The word African is older than the word indigenous. Africa was not named by its conqueror because no man ever conquered the whole continent. Alexander the Great conquered Kemet. Caesar conquered Kemet. The word Africa was around and is older before Leo Africanos. It is from the ancient Kemetic language, Af-Ra-Ka. Af-Ra-Ka. Ra is God, Ka is spirit, Af is from. When we say we are African, an original Kemetic word, we are saying we are from the Spirit of God. African means I am from the Spirit of God. The greatness of Garvey, the greatness of the most honorable Marcus Garvey is Garvey organized us not with self-hate, not with fake religion, not with false scruples, but he organized us with African consciousness. Garvey organized us with African consciousness.
I'm gonna have one more question.
Go ahead, man. No problem.
But this brother right here.
Sure.
What's up, Dr.
Peace, King, peace.
I just wanted to ask a question on what you would teach at FDMG. Would you teach trades up there?
Absolutely, when we get to high school. So right now we renovating the the Marcus Garvey Elementary School. We got two schools. Across the street is the Frederick Douglass High School. When that's ready, that's when the trades will go. So yes, we will be teaching trades in high school.
Will you open up like a college or university?
Possibly. Ultimately, I do want to build a college because we got a whole bunch of HBCUs, historically black, but we need some contemporarily black universities that focus on the problems that we have here and we have now. And as much as I don't want to go back to college, I'm contemplating taking an LSAT and going back to law school to become an educational attorney because we do not have a major black educational attorney in this country. For those of y'all who are thinking about a career for graduate school, please consider educational law. We don't have a major black educational attorney in the entire United States, so I'm contemplating going back to college to become an educational attorney.
I told him Peter, under that mother, and then Queen down
We
here.
good, we good, Bob.
We're gonna wrap it up if there's no more questions.
Sure.
You mentioned skilled trades for our children coming
Yes.
out of high school.
Yes.
You mentioned electricians, plumbers, but what is there for girls?
Same thing. Why can't the girls get it? In fact,
But
now,
that's a girl thing though, I mean.
well, but you know why?
You don't want to get our hands dirty.
But you know why? Black mothers. Listen, no, she made a good point. She said girls don't want to get their hands dirty. I'm gonna put this on the black mother. No, there's some truth to what she's saying. Shh. A lot of our women have socialized our daughters against professions that are traditionally masculine. Are y'all following me? The average black girl doesn't think about being an electrician. She doesn't think about being a carpenter or an auto mechanic, even though she would make a lot of money being that. Because every brother coming to her shop just to look at her, he gonna pay her. So we need to get our daughters more into the trades. And to be honest with you, the mass incarceration rate, Queen Mother, wouldn't be what it is if we never gave up the skills that paid the bills. It was in the 1970s that they came into Lansing, Detroit, Flint, Kalamazoo, and took all the industrial building trades out the high schools. I was just reading the newspaper in Lansing that the Lansing Public School just opened up a CTE, Community Technical High School or something y'all got now. It's a new trade high. But you know what the problem is? It's only one of them. It's only one of them. So yes, some of our kids will get an industrial education. What about everybody else? Don't let them get away with giving you one school. One school means there will be a small group who goes and everybody else get nothing. That's not a solution. A solution means every black child who wants to get a trade will get a chance to go. But they're not going to do that. Why? You know why they're not going to make sure every black child in Lansing gets a trade school education? Because if they do that, they won't be able to protect labor jobs for the white boys in Lansing. So we got to make sure the black kids don't learn how to be plumbers, electricians, and carpenters to make sure the white boys can keep all the jobs and the contracts. So this is when how many blacks I got on city council? How many blacks on city council Lansing? How many blacks? Y'all ain't got no blacks on city council? Y'all don't have no city council?
He did, but he got
But did y'all have 2 people win in 2021, Mont? They said 2. No, that's East Lansing. That's East Lansing.
But yeah, we did. We had a commissioner. He left here. He was my homeboy's younger son, and I said something that made me mad.
But wait a second. If Lansing is 25% black, how y'all don't have no black city council people? How many on city council? You got 2. So then we need to have a meeting with them and ask them what are they doing to put the trade schools, trade skill programs back in the high school. Let me give y'all this real quick before you go to that one, Mont, real quick. Let me give y'all this one time. Listen to this. According to the Department of Education, 54 Michigan school districts have been identified as scoring in the bottom 5% of the state system or having a 4-year graduation rate 67% or less. One of them is Lansing schools, okay? So y'all at the bottom of the bottom. Now check this out. Right now, students in the Lansing School District's Career Technical Education Program get a half day of specialized class. But now they're gonna move it to a full day of specialized class. And then they said they're gonna start them at 9th grade. So this is good, but it's only one school. What about all the other kids who need that opportunity? Now listen to this. Somebody by the name of Kyle Kaminsky. Anybody know him? Kyle Kaminsky, only after about 3 months on the job, a superintendent said he has identified 3 emergency issues facing Lansing School. The third is a backlog of hundreds of written evaluations for 2,000 special ed students. Why would you put your child in special ed when the superintendent said y'all got over 2,000 kids who ain't been serviced? And some of y'all still getting y'all kids signed up for special ed. What the hell are you doing? You got 2,000 kids who ain't being serviced? So you think if you put your child in special ed, they're gonna get service when they already got 2,000 of them who ain't got service? And then I wanna know why these black parents haven't come together to sue the state of Michigan and sue the city of Lansing and the school district for systemic miseducation of black special education children.
There are some, a few, Doc.
There's a few working on it.
There's a few that have been sued. The families got gag orders or whatnot, so they were successfully sued. But in the court case, the Lansing School District said they was a gag, so they were not able. So they can't speak
as a result of the settlement.
So as a result of the settlement, yes.
Gotcha. Sound like that Ben Crump plan.
Yeah.
I had something else here. I was looking at your arrest. Hold on one second, y'all. Listen to this. The revenue for Lansing Public Schools, listen to this. Y'all have some of the lowest achievement in the state, but y'all spend more money per pupil in the state. Lansing Public Schools spend $17,754 per child. The Michigan State average is $14,589. How is it your children are doing worse than the rest of the state, but y'all spending more money on them? You know why? Because white people are hustling your damn children. When is the last time, by a show of hands, one of y'all been to the local school board meetings? Look at that. Only like 3 of y'all. That's a damn shame. You know why it's a shame? Where do they get the contracts out at? The school board meetings. Where do they discuss the policies? The school board meetings. When do they talk about the new initiative? The school board meetings. And guess where you can almost find no black parents anywhere in America at a school board meeting? If we don't show up to the school board meetings, they know we don't give a damn about our kids. You have to show up and let them know that you care. Do you know the school board is the largest employer in most cities? The school district employs more people than your local government. In Philadelphia, the school board employs more people than the city of Philadelphia and the state of Pennsylvania. You know what that means? Billions of dollars. Who getting those contracts? Black people will never get those contracts if you don't go to the meeting. Who got the contract to pick up the trash? Who got the contract to get rid of the old furniture? Who got the contract to do the school lunches? Who got the contract to fix the light bulbs, put the cameras in, the after school programs? These are $100,000 contracts. They all going to white people because y'all don't go to the school board meetings. We have to change the way we do business or business will be finished.
1, 2, 3. Okay, that's the last. These are the last two. Right.
Hi, my name is Sierra. I'm actually going to be in Kalamazoo tomorrow, so I'm really excited.
Yes,
to see
ma'am.
that you're speaking.
Tomorrow, Kalamazoo, 1 o'clock, Epic Center at the Kalamazoo Mall.
Yeah. But I guess I was really interested in terms of how you would or plan and intend to incorporate the parents, because I think one of the things that you kind of spoke on is like the negligency of the parents and having their children committed to ADHD or special needs or whatever those classes are. Is there a plan, or is there a way to have any kids in my home? When my niece is 3 and like I'm very active, but is there a way to like include the parents and the family so that they do have that emotional support so that they can academically perform and move forward, doesn't matter how?
Well, FDMG will function as a village. The parents have to go to school just like their children do. If you're not involved, your child can't come.
Can I do this? I'm seeing you my work.
For sure. Absolutely, for sure. And we will have no special ed program. So guess what? If your son comes to the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy and say, Dr. Umar, I got a reading disability. I need help. I got a math disability. I need help. I got ADHD. I can't sit still. I got conduct disorder. I like to beat people up for no reason. Guess what? You come to school on the weekends. Saturday and Sunday from 7 in the morning till 7 at night till you can sit the hell still, till you can read, till you can count. Who would have bet me $100 after 30 days I will have no math disabilities, no reading disabilities, no ADHD, no conduct disorder, no OCD? Listen, when I evaluate a kid for special ed, do you know what I do? I bring him in my office. I say, do you know why you're here? I don't know why I'm here. You're here because your mother signed you up for special ed. She said you need to ride on the cheese bus. You know the cheese bus that the kids come on in the morning? I'm not riding on that bus. Yes, you are, unless you show me you don't need to be on that bus. So then I give them the test, and they score high. And then I go to the IEP meeting, and the mother and the principal sitting there, and I say, he don't qualify for special ed. And the principal look at the scores and say, wait a minute, you said he's above average IQ, average reading, just a little behind in math. How do you explain such high scores, Dr. Umar, when the classroom teacher says he's underperforming? And I tell them, what you don't understand is he does what he wants to do in that class. For me, he does what he's able to do. I don't lie to our kids. When they come to me for special ed, I let them know exactly why you're here. If you don't score high on these tests, you go in the slow class. It's just that simple. So I'm able to find out exactly what your children can do. And I'm gonna tell y'all this, when you do sign up your child to get evaluated, you need to recommend that they give them a black psychologist. Don't let no white person evaluate your kid for special ed, because white people think something wrong with every black kid. You better tell them, if you're gonna test my child, it better be a black person. I'm not letting a white person test my child. And then you gotta make sure you know when they're gonna test your child and where they're gonna test your child. Because guess what? If your child has a class trip that day and the psychologist get him at 12 o'clock and say you can't go on the class trip because you got to stay behind and get tested, how well you think them scores gonna look? Right. How high you think he's gonna score? You tell them what day is he gonna get tested, who he gonna get tested by, okay, and what time of the day he's gonna get tested.
I don't like to test kids at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 1 o'clock, because I know they mind, they on school, they ready to go home. I don't test the kid before Thanksgiving, before Christmas, before the end of the year, because if I'm testing him when he's trying to go home, he's gonna say whatever he want to say on that report just to get the hell up out of here. Most of our kids' test performance, I would argue, 45% of the test score is due to interest, effort, and motivation. Your child didn't fail because he couldn't do the work, he failed because he didn't want to do the work.
True. Right. Okay. Yep. Last one.
So I know you spoke on about going to law school. I just want to know, like, as a law student, what can I do to fight the fight, basically?
You're in law school now? What's your concentrations?
I'm a 1L right now, so I don't have one just yet.
Okay, if they have ed law, you take it. If they don't have ed law, you get with me after you graduate, and I'm gonna teach you the game real quick. You understand? But we need some black folks who's fighting for our kids in the schools because we ain't got none. Educational law. And the cases are real simple to win. It ain't like criminal where you got to do it. It's real simple. Y'all said he retarded. He ain't retarded. Pay him. You feel me? Educational cases are real simple, real different, and we need some law students. So you took my number?
I got his number, so I'll make sure.
Get the number, you get it, and you get in contact with me when you're almost done your law school. You ain't got no white boyfriend, do you? Okay.
Came with change, I'm amazed, take the high road. Made the play bet on my game, I'm a splash code. Can't complain, I make it rain, heavy cash load. See my veins, I get the gains, you a slimy troll.